Hey guys, how are you? Happy Saturday. I just put this message out on Patreon. And I got a part two to the message and I put it out separately. So I was actually told to share the part two on YouTube because I feel like the part two is gonna definitely help a lot of you guys. So I'm gonna just play this message for you guys because I feel like a lot of you guys need encouragement right now. And a lot of you guys need to, not be confused and not be afraid to share what God has shown you, especially when it's supposed to be shared. Not everything he shows you is supposed to be for everybody, but, to share what's supposed to be for you, and also, to share what's supposed to be shared with the world and to help people the right way. And also to use this message to, apply it to your personal life. Because when you're afraid to take action towards certain things or to do certain things, it's kind of like, it's no different from you putting out something out there to save someone's life. If you get a message for you and you go against it, you can be, you could have prevented something from happening in your own life, right? So I'm going to share this message with you, and it's just part two of the message, and I feel like everyone should hear this. On adding to the message deep message I put out, another thing that he told me about Jeremiah 8 was that, listen, like, I tell you guys all the time, and I was talking to my best friend about this too, when she came over, and because she's very gifted, extremely gifted, and she gets a lot of the same messages I get, and she's afraid to put them out, right? So I gave her this encouragement. I want to give you guys the same encouragement too. When God gives you a message and you feel it's from your heart and you're like, you know what, I just want to confirm, because I always say get double, triple confirmations, and you get your confirmations, don't hold back on your messages. I know last year I held back on a lot of messages, and, I saw things that happened that, in the world, and, I felt guilty. I felt hurt. I felt guilty because I felt like, had I put this message out, this person could have been saved, or this could have been prevented. You know what I mean? And what held me back from putting out a lot of these messages was the judgments I was getting. If I put a message out about a fire warning, I was accused of being a demon. I was accused of being evil. I was accused of trying to put fear in people. When I put messages out about an STD that I saw, and I had real details on what the person looked like and everything, and God would say put it out, and I would hold back, and I could have possibly saved someone's life, because of the types of hate that I was getting in the comment sections, and me being people that know me personally, I'm extremely sensitive. I don't want to hurt nobody. You know what I mean? I don't want to put anybody down, because I have a big heart. I do, and I don't ever want to ruin anyone's day. And when I get certain messages, it's hard for me to even receive them. Like the things that I see, the things that I hear, and I know it's from God because I've confirmed it. And it's like I'm being put in the position to where now that I have the information, it's up to me to put it out there to help people. And, it's quick for people to throw hate and to say that you're a bad person, you're this, you're that. And when you are someone that behind closed doors, you're exactly the same person that they see on camera and they hear from. The only difference is you guys won't hear me nag at my kids, but like every mom does. I'm human just like you guys. Like I have a heart too, and I just want to encourage you, don't let these people confuse you like that, like Galatians 5 verse 10 says. Don't let them confuse you and make you feel like your message is wrong or you can't put it out there because it's a negative message. Going back to Jeremiah 8, God doesn't want you to mask your messages. God does not want you to put a Band-Aid on messages, Band-Aid on pain. He wants the pain to be healed properly. If you put a Band-Aid on a cut, the Band-Aid can make the burn or the cut worse. I burnt myself with the curling iron and grease, and I put a Band-Aid on it, and it looked nasty when I took it off. It wasn't healing. Went to the doctor there, not the doctor, the pharmacy, and got a cream and put a cream on it. No Band-Aid, it dried out and it healed, and I can't even really see it anymore. So in order for things to be healed properly, sometimes the information has to be put out in order for things to be healed properly. And what God is upset about is there's a lot of prophets out there who held back on, their messages because of people's negative reactions. And the devil will do that. And some people, it's the kindness of their heart. They don't want to hear nothing negative, or they don't want to, why are you putting this out? Oh, don't do that. Or da-da-da-da-da. And they're not realizing that, them contributing and putting someone down for trying to help, even when it's hard for them to put out that message, them contributing and judging them for putting out information that they know was hard to put out. That is also, can be manipulated from the devil too. Like if you go to someone and say, oh, you're so negative, don't put that message out. I'm unsubscribing, I'm this, I'm that. You're doing what the devil wants. You want this person that is really going out of their way to help to feel discouraged and not want to put their message out anymore. So when God gives them a message that's going to save a life, they don't want to put the message out. And that's not what you're supposed to do. But there's a lot of people out there who have gifts and have messages. And what God was upset about was how many prophets. I don't really like calling people prophets or not tell or say they're not a prophet, because God told me, to title too, and we don't really have the rights to say someone is not a prophet or someone is a prophet. That's up to God to decide, but I'm saying the title because so you guys know what I'm talking about, like a group of people that are supposed to be putting out messages to save lives and warnings. Like I said, God does not cause destruction, but he can show you how to get through the obstacles and challenges and through the disruptions that are happening in the world. He can show you how to get through it. And a part of knowing how to get through it is also being prepared for it. Therefore, you can prepare ahead of time. So when it happens, you know exactly how to get through it, or you're not as stressed as you could have been. You know what I mean? So when you're masking messages and you're not putting the messages that God is giving you out there, you're only putting in the good messages out there. You're putting a Band-Aid on a problem that, on a cut. You're putting a Band-Aid on a cut. You're not properly helping it heal. And God was upset about that because he's saying there's people out there putting out things that people want to hear. They want to hear. That's gonna give them false promises and hopes. But they're not able to, and they're getting the clicks, they're getting the views, they're getting whatever they're getting, but they're not putting out the messages that the other side of the messages, which is the ones that we don't consider good. They're not putting that out there and preparing them for certain things, which is another reason why he removed me from, putting messages out on YouTube for a while. There's a lot of reasons why he removed me, but that was one of them, because I was getting so much hate just from putting out real life things that are happening in the world. Like the diseases, the water, fires, health, things out there that can save lives, and he's upset that a lot of people chose to hold back. Because he's saying, I didn't just put you here to put out, messages that, are going to help people. Yes, I didn't just put you out here to put out messages that's going to give people what they want. But I want you to put messages out to actually help people and help them prevent being broke during a pandemic. Help them prevent being homeless during a pandemic. Help them control their spending habits before the pandemic even hits. Help them avoid catching cancer because they're going to drink water through the whole 2019. That's going to cause something that's going to affect their liver or affect something in their body. He's giving out serious messages, and a lot of people were not taking them seriously, or a lot of people were just afraid to lose subscribers or afraid to, be judged or afraid to, you get where I'm coming from? So they only put out what it is that they want to put out, and they hold back on other messages. You got to put out every single message that he tells you to put out. And if you hold back, you're going to see the consequences too. And that's why in Jeremiah 8, that's another thing he was talking about. Because he's saying, I just saw an orb, because he's saying, like, you can't listen to what people are saying. They can say all the stuff they want to say about you, but at the end of the day, they're not going to say that when their life is saved. And to be honest, now that I look at the scripture, I'm glad I put out a lot of the stuff that I put out. People get mad at me, but I'm so happy I did. Even with the new disease, I've been telling you guys, I'm happy I put it out. Was I hesitant? Of course I was. Was I scared? Yeah, I was. And some of the stuff I would see in my comment sections before I switch my channel over, some of the messages I saw hurt me. I'm not going to lie. There's been times where I literally buried myself in the house and said, you know what? Like, I've been called so many names, and only for people to see later on that, wow, there is a new disease. Or, wow, she was right about the pandemic. Oh my God, I didn't listen to her and look what happened. And it's like, not everyone that puts out information that's unpleasant is trying to hurt you. They're actually trying to help and save you. You know what I mean? So I just want to encourage you guys that, that's another message that God wanted me to share with you guys. And he doesn't want you guys to hold back on anything. And when I watched The Shack, it was a confirmation for me because, some of the stuff that, that was not so positive, but God was helping him heal through it, right? And it's the same concept with some of the messages we get. It's not that we want to put it out there to hurt you, but some of it is literally to save your life. And I don't want you guys to feel discouraged and not want to help and not want to put messages out there. If you are putting messages out there, not want to, I want you guys to actually be comfortable enough to do it. It takes a while to get there, but don't doubt it. Don't. And who cares about the criticism you're going to receive? Because at the end of the day, you're saving their life whether they want to, accept it or not. And people will see. God told me he's going to show people later on. He said, don't worry about it. I'm going to show everybody later on. You don't have to worry about it. So Jeremiah 8 talks about that too, where some of his people are only putting out what people want to hear, and they're not really putting out everything. And it's because of ego and fear and afraid to lose subscribers or afraid to be judged. And yeah, that's a normal reaction, but then you're going against God. You can't go against God. So he's a bit upset at, some of his children that are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. And yeah, just be encouraged. Don't let anybody hold you back or stop you. And if God tells you to do something, just listen. If you have to get confirmation, get confirmation. But once you get the confirmation, you got to do it. I got a message about cheese last night. Right after I made this bomb macaroni and cheese and said to myself, ain't nobody, what did I say? I said, ain't no basic mac and cheese around here. And I was so confident about it yesterday. I don't make mac and cheese all the time because I'm not supposed to be eating cheese, but I do eat it, and he hit me with you got to stop cheese now. You got to listen. He hit me with that last night. And I was like, damn, so you just got to listen, guys. You just got to listen. I haven't had ginger ale since he told me to stop drinking ginger ale. And that was hard. So I think that's why he wants to put me on the Daniel fast too, because once I go on the Daniel fast, it's going to be a lot easier for me to not eat cheese because I've already gone, 21 days without it, right? I haven't gone 21 days without cheese ever. So, that would be the first time. So I feel like it would be a lot easier for me. It was like meat. Like, it was so hard for me the first, 15 days. But after a month, I went with, started getting easier. Then after 6 months, I just never craved it again, So I feel like that's what he's trying to do with the cheese, but, yeah, so just listen, guys. Just listen. And I'm telling you guys, God loves each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. And don't ever doubt it. And if you get a message and it's, and because it doesn't have to be a message you got to put out in the world. It could be a message that may scare you, but don't run away from it. Like there's a reason why he's giving it to you. He's trying to prevent something. You know what I mean? And then we have the nerves to sit there and get upset when something happens, when he's been trying to warn us from time. And sometimes we're like, God, how come you didn't stop this? And he's just like, he's slapping his forehead like, I've been trying to stop it, but you weren't listening, But yeah, I love you guys so much. Have a blessed day. Bye.